Quavo Huncho by Quavo. The Migos have been on top of the music industry as the premier group in hip-hop for a few years now. The trio has been unstoppable, and Quavo has been looked at by many as the frontman of the group. Does Quavo's debut solo album, Quavo Huncho, continue to fuel these talks? Here's our honest review of Quavo Huncho by Quavo.
Quavo Huncho.
Yeah, man.
By Quavo, man. We found out about this more recently, that this was coming out.
I kind of felt that it was coming, though, with all the singles that he's been releasing and everything.
And my bad, I know it's not Huncho Jack. That's Travis Scott and him together.
Yeah.
How you feel about this album artwork, man?
I actually thought it was actually kind of interesting because, at first, I was just like, oh, what is this? But when you look at it, I like how it plays with the reflection of the water, making his lips and everything like that. And I like how, the rest of the features make up, like, using the bird right there and everything. I thought it was creative. Not my particular taste when it comes to looking at something, but it was creative for the thought, what they did.
Yeah, for one, I'm going to say it looks ugly. But aside from the fact that it looks ugly, it does actually look creative. It looks like it was inspired by Halloween. I get that type of vibe. I got that vibe at the beginning of the album as well. Yeah. So I'm not a huge fan of the album artwork. I'm definitely not turning it into a poster or nothing and hanging it up anywhere. Right. But, I guess it's serviceable. Yeah. It's got like enough neat aspects to it, like you said, like the log is making his top lip, and the river is reflecting his bottom lip. You got an eagle or a bird kind of making his mustache, and
nose,
like a fucking bat or a dragon is up there making the crown of his head. So it's got neat aspects to it. I just still think it's kind of ugly. It doesn't have enough color to it or anything like that. So the flow of this album, man. The one thing I will say is that it was actually a more diverse sound from Quavo than I thought I was going to get. Really? I thought I was really just going to get the same exact thing over and over again. I want to say he at least attempted to talk about a couple other topics. Whether I feel like he was successful or not, we'll get into. But I do feel like he tried a couple of different things. And obviously we're going to suffer from some bad hooks. But we'll talk about that too. How do you feel about the flow?
I really don't think he tried to do much different at all. There's a couple songs on here that he tried to do different with, but as far as just for the flow, it's just typical kind of Migos flow. I won't even say Migos flow because I kind of feel like it was just Quavo on every type of beat. And it really didn't flow well to me. Like, there were some songs where I was just like, okay, yeah, but then it kind of felt repetitive. So, in my opinion, it was kind of repetitive.
Highlights. I ain't got a lot. I like Big as Alley Oop. I like the way he started out the album. I was just like, okay, that was actually pretty dope.
The intro was dope.
Yeah, the intro. Pass Out. I like 21 Savage's verse. He didn't even sound like 21 Savage to me.
That verse was laughable, but yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. Like it wasn't like, don't get me wrong, it's not lyrical miracle, but the stuff he was saying in there had me kind of weak, man. And I like 21 rapping with that sound of voice because he actually sounded more into it than he normally would when he sounds kind of lazy. Yeah. Flip the Switch featuring Drake. I thought Drake, his appearance on there was serviceable. Champagne Rosé. Cardi B's verse was okay. I was actually kind of disappointed because she's been nailing everything. Keep That Shit. Take Off. I like what he did on that. Fuck 12. Offset. I like what he did on that. I don't know if y'all catching the trend yet. Lose It. Lil Baby actually did his thing on there. I actually like what Lil Baby did on there. Swing. I actually like Swing a lot. It was like one of his world type songs.
That was a standout song for me for the whole album.
Yeah. And then Lost featuring Kid Cudi. I really like what Kid Cudi brought to the song.
What? You like what Kid Cudi?
What Kid Cudi.
You like what
brought
Kid
to the song.
Cudi brought
I was
to the
in
song.
shock. I was just like, yo.
Oh man.
I liked it, and then I looked at it and it was too late to hate it.
Oh man.
So I was just like, shit. Cudi did his thing on that, man. How do you feel about it? Your highlights.
I kind of felt like Champagne Rose was kind of cool. Cardi kind of threw a short. Like, it felt short. It wasn't
it wasn't a.
She comes in and kills it. She didn't really kill it. Keep That Shit. Take Off was dope in that, man. Take Off murdered that beat for real. I felt like Rerun was serviceable. I actually liked it. It was okay. You know, I felt like that was a song that was like, okay, he got a lot of help from Travis on that. Not to say that he didn't do nothing, but I felt like that was like one of the things he tried to do a little bit differently. Swing was the best thing on the whole album to me, just in my opinion. But other than that, that's all the highlights I got. Lost was okay. Yeah. Wasn't very interested, I know.
Lowlights, man. Look, my low light is I'm not a huge fan of, like, I feel like Quavo proved everybody wrong on this project.
Oh, really?
And what I mean by that is, like, everybody's been saying, like, he's the strongest member, he can stand on his own, he don't need the rest of them. And I think he proved everybody wrong. Like, I think that he actually fits with the group. He's like an instrumental part of the group, the Migos.
Oh, so you saying that he is? Okay, I see what you
like
mean.
what I'm saying is, like, as far as, like, everybody was saying, like, when Quavo goes solo, it's a rap. Nah, it's definitely not over.
Not, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, I feel like
100%.
he proved everybody wrong. Like, everybody was so ready to think that it was gonna be over with, and nah, Quavo's part of the group.
Yeah,
he's gonna stay part of the group.
He's
he can put
essential.
out as many solo projects as he wants, but I don't feel like he's gonna ever reach what he thinks he can reach.
Yeah.
I mean, I like,
as far as the solo artists go.
As far as the solo artists,
right.
I like a lot of the humming he did in a lot of the songs. I'm assuming that's why he called Cuddy on one of the songs, because he did a lot of humming on this joint in the background. But as far my low light, Huncho Dreams was like, it was a horrible excuse for trying to beat a Nicki joint. Flip the Switch, that was a horrible rendition to back that ass up. I can't remember. I don't remember if it was Give It To Him or Shine, but one of those was a bad rendition of Get Your Roll On, because he was trying to rap like the big timers on that. Champagne Rose, the Madonna sample was horrible. Murder Beats, you should have. What the fuck was that? There's a part where the beat, like the drums of the beat comes in, and this shit sounds really dope, but he only keeps that drum pattern in there for a short period of time. But the Madonna sample didn't fit. It didn't fit with Quavo. A lot of the skits that Quavo used didn't really fit. The Fuck 12 song, the first verse was not even talking about why he hated the police.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, you just rapping. Like, you ain't making no sense. And then Offset came in there.
Yeah.
And then he fixed it.
Yeah, like he literally fixed it. Yes.
And then Quavo kind of got on task.
Because when he started saying fuck 12, I'm like,
for what?
For what? What happened?
Why are we saying fuck the police right now? I mean, don't get me wrong. If you black, I understand why you say fuck the police. But I'm just saying, in that song, I just didn't get it yet.
Yeah.
He didn't establish why he was saying fuck 12. It just seemed like he was just saying it just for the sake of saying it.
Yeah.
And then Rerun, I did not like it. It sounded like a straight Travis Scott song. And Wonder Girl did the beat. I like Wonder Girl's production, but
that's why I liked it.
Yeah. Lamb Talk, wasn't feeling it. And then there was another song. What was the other single? Was it I liked Big Bro a lot. I forgot to mention that in my highlights. Big Bro was actually a really dope song. He put a lot of thought into the whole idea of mentoring somebody and everything like that, and mentoring a guy, a woman, and another artist. Yeah. I thought that was really dope. And Quavo really nailed it with Big Bro and Swing and Lost. And I can't even remember what Bubblegum sounds like, to be perfectly honest with you. But
Trash.
I was extremely disappointed in what Quavo actually brought to the table as opposed to what I thought he was going to bring.
Well, my problem with this, and this just gonna cover my lowlights, is just how much.
Oh, Working Me. It was Working Me. I hated that song. Working Me and Lamb Talk were bad singles. Like, you got some pretty good songs on this album, but
the thing I hated with this album is the fact that I wanted Offset and Takeoff to jump in at any minute, and it made me realize how much I appreciate them as a group. Cause it's just like, when Takeoff, I swear there was one song where Takeoff wasn't credited, but I heard him doing ad-libs in the background, and I thought he was gonna come in rapping, and I was like, yes. And I don't know whether I should feel bad about that or not, because it's just like, I don't really care about the Migos that much, but I found myself in this album wishing that Offset and Takeoff was on every other song, and that just made me realize I don't really respect Quavo as a solo artist. I feel like you said, he's an essential part of the Migos, and I feel like that's what makes them click. Because there's a lot of Migos songs that I do enjoy, but I found myself literally bored throughout this project. So I won't even go through what song I really had my lowlights. It was just the fact that on every song I was trying to find a reason for myself to actually enjoy. And like you said, the features saved them on a lot of these songs.
Do you feel like Huncho Dreams was worth all the conversation? People
Not at all. Like it caught me
the
off.
skit. The best part of the song was the skit at the beginning from ATL.
And it's like it caught me off guard, but I was just like, okay, I guess you're just trying to do your own thing. But
I thought he was with Saweetie.
I don't know.
I mean, that's the rumor at least.
We don't know who these guys are with.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I don't feel like I'm any closer to knowing anything real about Quavo.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, final thoughts, disappointment. Disappointed. You know, the little skit I got. Just disappointed. Didn't enjoy the music as a whole. Had some cool spots on the album, but I just wasn't feeling it, and I don't want to talk about it again for the rest of the year.
Same here. Just a disappointment. You know, I feel like Quavo is great when he's features and everything like that. But as far as a solo artist, I don't think he can carry the weight unless he does something dramatically different with his style.
Final grades, man. I'm gonna give it a dash. When I'm saying the dash, I'm talking about it's the dash like damn near before you get to the X, like probably like right before it. It's like a really low dash grade. And that's simply because I felt like he has some bright spots on this album. He's got Swing, which is gonna be a smash worldwide. Big Bro, which could be a smash if he puts it out. And then he's got some definite songs like Lose It with Lil Baby. This is Atlanta. That song would go if he releases that out here. Yeah. Even Fuck 12 and Keep That Shit. I don't care for the songs as a whole. I like Offset and Takeoff's verses on them, but they could work in context of the fact that it's Atlanta and people will love new Migos. Well,
I'm gonna give it an X just because I don't feel like it's essential. If you like, Migos or even Quavo, I mean, it's passable, but I mean, there's nothing really essential to get from this project. It's just something to listen to, and I mean, you're not gonna play it again like you play like a Migos album, and I'm just keeping it real. I mean, Quavo makes some good music, but on this, I just don't feel like he did the best he could do.